Okay, so it's time to start building our program or our Minesweeper program, and um, we need to figure out how we're going to store all of our information. And if we're thinking about how Minesweeper works, we're going to essentially have a grid with all of these boxes. And each of these boxes, we can call them a lot of things. We'll call them a node. Usually we use the word node to reference something like this. All of these nodes have to have a lot of information stored about them. First of all, we need to know whether it's revealed or unrevealed. So that would be a Boolean value for those two. And then we would have to know if it has a bomb. And we would have to know if it's flagged. If it's flagged and unrevealed, then we would show the flag icon. If it's revealed and it's a bomb, we would show the bomb. If it's revealed and it's not a bomb, then we have to figure out which number to show, whether it's going to be just the blank, meaning there's no bombs adjacent to it, or whether it has a number here. So we kind of need to figure out exactly how to display our nodes and how to store all of this information. And because we have all of this information to store, we have a few different options. TypeScript offers a type. We can use type, which we used before, actually, because we had to store two different properties of something. Type something equals, and then you can build it this way. However, I want to do more stuff than just store the values. I also need to be able to actually perform functions on this. So I need this class, I need it to be stored in a class so that I can have properties, but I can also have functions that I can use. So let's try building our class this time, and it might not make a lot of sense right at the beginning, but hopefully it becomes clear why we have this class. So we're going to say node, just to make it easy, class node. And then the way that the syntax goes for the classes with TypeScript, we need to declare some public values here. So the first one I'm going to have is public revealed, which is going to be a Boolean. Okay. And then we're going to have public has bomb, Boolean, public is flagged, Boolean. And I don't think I'm going to need to store the adjacent numbers. I think that's going to be something we calculate as we go, but we're going to need a function that's going to be able to calculate the numbers. So the other thing that we might need is actually to know our XY coordinates of this node on the grid so that we can access the other nodes as well and figure out if the adjacent nodes have something for us or not. So we're going to add another thing here to track our XY as well. So we'll say public X and Y. I'm trying to think of a better term because we use X and Y for coordinates. How about row and column? That's probably a little bit better. Call, which is going to be a number, and public row, which is going to be a number. So why is this one squiggly? Okay. And now we need a constructor here. So what the constructor essentially does is this is what's called when you create an instance of this class, when you instantiate this class. And our constructor is going to, if you worked with Python, this is what the def init does. It's the same thing, but in TypeScript we call it a constructor explicitly like this. Now, what do I need to pass in? Well, I know by default it's not going to be revealed. I know by default it's not going to be flagged. I do need to know the column and the row, and I also need to know if it has a bomb. So those are going to be the three things that are going to be passed in. So we're going to say call, which is going to be a number, row, which is going to be a number, and then has bomb, which is going to be a Boolean. And then inside of our constructor, we'll say this dot call equals call, this dot row equals row, and this dot has bomb equals has bomb. So now when I create all of my nodes, I'll be able to use this node class to sort of build it and store all of the information that we need to have. We can also do this. Let's do this dot revealed equals false, and this dot is flagged equals false. That way, by default, we know these are going to be false, so they don't need to be passed in here. We're not going to take that from the instantiation. We're just going to by default set these to false. We're not going to create any nodes that are already revealed because they will become revealed eventually, but from the beginning they're not going to be revealed. So we have our class here, and let me see if we can start building out some other stuff. Actually, no, that'll be good for this one. In the next one, we'll start actually creating our grid of nodes here.